Hey guys, just a reminder, this is not official medical advice or such. Please seek an appointment with a licensed medical provider. All right, welcome back everybody to a part 2 episode. I love these two-parters. I hope you got a ton out of the first episode on New Year's resolutions. This is a part 2. As always, on Dive Into Diet, I'm with nutrition coach Lucas Schmidt. Lucas, what's up, man?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I say let's finish this series on New Year's resolutions with a bang here and send everybody off into a wonderful start to 2025.
Hopefully so.
What are we focusing on in this app?
In case anybody missed the last one, go watch it. But just to preface, so you can follow this one easier. Last week I talked about why New Year's resolutions usually fail and sort of kind of some of the reasons. Usually it's a lack of specificity, lack of accountability or discipline or willpower, and a lack of setting. People don't usually set realistic goals. So, and I tailored some nutrition-related ones. This week I'm going to tailor fitness-related ones because I think fitness is I see it as a common goal people set.
Always.
Probably more common than the nutrition side.
Yeah.
Usually, at least in my circle of friends, or if you see on Facebook, New Year's resolutions, usually it's exercise related.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some exceptions out there, but usually it's exercise related in what I see. So what I'm going to do is take exercise goals that I hear that are common, and then explain why maybe they could be changed to be more realistic and actually successful. So the first one I see is very general, and it is exercise more. I have tons of friends and family that say, I need to exercise more. This year I'm going to exercise more. I'm going to do it. This year, new year, new me, exercise more. Summer I'm going to have a beach body, So exercise more is too general. So how I would downgrade it, and not in a bad way, I mean, let's not say I would upgrade the goal. Let's say upgrade is if somebody doesn't exercise at all says I need to exercise more, one, they're being dishonest because the word more implies they're doing something. Let's be, first of all, the first step is honesty. If you don't exercise at all and you say, I need to exercise more, walking to your car and then to work, I guess could be counted. So I guess more still applies, but that's, no, I'm being snarky. Maybe I shouldn't be. Perform some countertop push-ups 2 days a week. That's what I would say. If you don't exercise at all and you're going to try to exercise more, let's be specific. A specific, easy, approachable exercise probably takes 5 minutes. I do like 3 sets of 10 to 20 countertop push-ups. And a countertop push-up is simply putting your hands on the corner of a countertop and walking your feet back. And it's like a standing push-up sort of at an angle.
Yeah.
They're a good challenge for your chest and your shoulders and your triceps and your core, but they're not so challenging that most anybody can do them. You just have to modify them. But that's a very approach. And if you're in your kitchen heating up a cup of coffee, you could drop and do those push-ups while you're waiting. You can do it at work, in the bathroom. You can do them at your desk. That's something that you can add into your week. That's pretty easy to do. And how I would do that, this is for a person who doesn't exercise at all, who's trying to set this goal. Perform 2 days a week, 3 sets of 10 to 20. That's not a big commitment. It's like 5 minutes. And only 2 days a week, not 7.
So why is that, Lucas? Like, why start there? Just because you want to get that win, or you want it to be something you can hit?
I would start there because it doesn't require equipment.
Okay.
The barriers to entry to that exercise are low.
Okay.
The only barrier is if you don't have arms.
Okay.
Or you've just had surgery and your arms are broken. Some circumstance that's extreme. Most people have functioning arms and have functioning shoulders and can do that. And even if you're not quote unquote strong, if you're weak or you feel you are, you can modify this to be doable.
Yep.
To me, it's one of the easiest and most beneficial exercises is learning how to do a push-up. Because it doesn't require a gym membership.
Yep.
Right. So then I would increase that to 3 days a week. And then after we gotten that into a routine, after several weeks of that, only that, perform some body weight squats. Again, doesn't require equipment, and you just have to have legs and, not be 95 with or, if you have degeneration or something,
Right.
These are all barring like medical circumstances. And body weight squats, even if you can't go very deep, even if you're just barely squat, it's still a squat. You're still taking your muscles through the movement. That, again, doesn't take long to do. 5 minutes, 3 sets, 10 to 20, no big deal. You could do that 2 days a week. So now if you followed at this point, we've gone from exercise more to building a very simple, approachable program that lasts several months. Every 2 weeks, maybe you increase your frequency, starting with the push-ups. Then after you've gotten used to those in circulation, add in those squats. So now we're exercising 3 to 4 days a week regularly. It's not a lot.
That's a big jump too. Like
It
to
is
go
a jump.
to nothing to
0 to 1 is a big jump. So, and then so on and so forth. So what you could do is either increase the reps or increase the number of days. You should always, though, leave 1 day for rest in the week. That's how I would modify that particular goal. Let's look at the next goal. It's a little more specific. I'll see this: lift weights. That's a goal I see people say, I need to lift weights. I'm going to start lifting weights. I'm going to start lifting. Great. To me, it's too general. So what I would first do is, if you're doing nothing, I would still go back to the first thing I said. Start doing some calisthenic strength training. Manage your body before you start loading it up with weight. You've already got weight on you. Learn how to control that first.
Yeah.
But after that point, if you've got anything around the house, like 5-pound dumbbells, something like that, yeah, you could start lifting those. My recommendation is a free one. Make yourself do it 1 day a week at home with whatever equipment you've got, or you can look up free YouTube calisthenics 15-minute routines. No big deal. There are varying difficulties. Some of the 15 minutes will kill you, and then some of them are meant for people who've never exercised before. And it's all free. And I'm not saying every YouTube channel is great. You'll want to use discretion. But generally, basic calisthenics, there's not a lot of nuance there. So that's what I would advise first. If you're not doing anything, get used to like a 15-minute commitment once a week. And it's free. Again, low barrier of entry. Now, if you've got some weights, 5 pounds, great. You could look up 5-pound dumbbell routine, 15 minutes. If you don't have dumbbells, you can grab 2-liter bottles of water and use those. They're heavy. And the water moves, so it's actually kind of hard to do. So that's how I would start that. Because if lifting weights is your goal and you've never done it before, and you've never exercised really, then you need to build a foundation. Now, if you're a calisthenics person and lift weights is your next goal, that's a different ballgame, right? So the next goal I hear is go to the gym 5 days a week. The reason I say 5 days, I hear that because it sort of coincides with the work week. It's like, I'm going to kill it Monday through Friday. I'm going to get up before work, go to the gym for an hour, go to work, and then I'm going to come home. And that's not realistic in my opinion, if you don't do that already.
Right.
So my first recommendation would be to go to the gym 1 day a week. If you've never gone to the gym.
Yep.
And work out for about 30 minutes. I wouldn't be going for an hour and a half. I would go work out for 30 minutes. But by work out for 30 minutes, I mean actually work out for the 30 minutes. I don't mean lift weights and then play on your phone for 20 minutes and then lift some more weights and then you leave. I see so many people do that. It's their business. I'm not in charge of them. It's their time. Some people, I think, go to the gym, honestly. The guys I see at the gym I go to. I say guys because actually most of the girls I see at the gym are in and out.
Yeah.
At least at mine. I can't speak for everybody else's, but they're like, there's this one girl I see almost every night I go there, and she's got her headphones in. She lifts really heavy. She sits for about 2 minutes, and then she's got a routine, and I can tell. I get out of her way. She's not me, but I'm just like, okay, yeah. But then I see a lot of people, and it's cool. They go with their friends, but there's like 4 to 5 guys sharing the same machine. So what does that mean? It means one guy does his reps, he gets up, the next guy does them, but they don't move at that pace. They like do their reps and then they stand and talk for 3 minutes, and then the next guy's just it's like 30 minutes for one exercise. It's insane to me. So that's just me, But if they're getting workout and social time, that's great. Great. But just know when I say you go work out for 30 minutes, I mean you try to fill the time. One day a week.
With rest in between reps, though, or in between exercises.
Yeah, of course. Just not 20 minutes. You don't need 20 minutes of rest. If you're lifting really heavy, you might need 5 minutes.
Yeah.
If you're not doing other exercise, like you're just squatting heavy, I would rest about 5 minutes. If it's a really heavy squat, like really heavy. And then I do it again. But that's painful for me. Putting on a stopwatch for 5 minutes and waiting and doing nothing in the gym, I hate it. I actually don't do that right now. My routine is more not superset, because superset's the same muscle group, but it's like I'll do a push and then I'll do a pull while my pushes are resting, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I took 2 exercises, a circuit of 2, and I just and then I'm done with them. I've done 6 sets total, and I go on to something else. So, okay, that was a tangent. Sorry, but there you go. And
I do see that a lot, though. Like people say, going from nothing to, I'm going to work out every day. Like that's hard to do. And
right.
And
well, gym 5 days
once
a week
is huge.
And the gym's a commitment. You got to drive there. You got to pay.
Yeah.
So I would start with 1 day a week.
Okay.
You can go more than that, but I wouldn't hold myself to it. After you got used to that and you get good at it, we can increase 2, 3, 4, 5, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
I still would keep the workouts fairly brief. You've got to have leeway somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next one would be run every day. I see that too. A cardio focus. I think I'm going to go for a run every morning. I hear that, things like that. Well, my first question to someone who told me that would be, cool. Do you run already? Like, do you already run? No. Okay. If that's the answer, there's all kinds of hypotheticals here. I'm not trying to insult anyone. This is more the approach of a person who doesn't really do a lot. Just keep that in mind. Run every day should be changed to walk 2 days a week. Go for a long walk 2 days a week, in my opinion. Just so you can get used to. One, what I would do maybe is explore different running paths by walking them. Or you could walk run, if you've never run. This is if you've never run. So after that, I'd increase it to walk or jog. Jog is light running, 2 to 3 days a week. And then you just build up from there. But you got to be specific with a number. Don't just say run every day. And you shouldn't run every. You should take a day off every week for recovery. That's just some modifications I would do with the cardio side. I have no problem with running. I think it's great for you. I think walking is excellent for you. It's just, I actually made the mistake. I can speak from this personally. I used to run when I was younger. In middle school, I did cross country and track. And then I didn't do it in high school, and I stopped running. I did martial arts, and then I started strength training. But running kind of disappeared for me for like 15 years. I was at the beach and decided, because I didn't want to go to the gym there, and I thought, but you know what? It's the beach. The weather's nice. I'm going to go for a run.
Yeah.
I'm going to wear shorts, no shirt. It's at the beach. Woo, it's free. I love the sea air. I thought, that just sounds really nice. I'm going to get up tomorrow morning and make myself go for a run. And I did. I got up. I ran, not a super long distance, but I ran really hard. It was really hot. The temperature started rising while I was really far away from the house. I say really far. It wasn't really far because it wasn't a long distance. But for me, when I haven't run in like 15 years, and I'm running so hard, it feels great. I'm just killing, I get to the end of the island, and I turn around and I run all the way back. Feel fine. I felt great about the workout. Fine. I take my shoes off. Me and some friends get in a cart, go down to the beach, because now we're going to walk around in the sand and whatever. I step on the sand, and the first step I took in the sand my right foot started stinging and killing me. So I hadn't run in 15 years. I went for a really hard run, and my feet weren't accustomed to that. I just pounded them into the concrete. And then I step on uneven sand, and I got what's called cuboid syndrome, which is when the cuboid bone, I believe that's what it's called. I actually had one of our PAs here look at it. She checked out my foot. She goes, I think you got cuboid syndrome. So I had pounded my feet, and I wasn't used to that. Killed them, and then went out on the sand that's uneven, and so my feet, it's like a cramping that happens, and one of the bones kind of slips a little bit, or the ligaments. She just told me it was cuboid syndrome, and it killed me for weeks.
I bet.
What happens is it slips. It's like it slips out and doesn't literally dislocate, but there's like this little grinding that occurs, and the pain is so terrible. You think you've broken your foot. And it's because I went for a run, ill prepared. I hadn't practiced, hadn't worked up to it, and I just sprint as hard as I could. I went 0 to 100, and instantly I walked out the door and was like, "Here we go." And so you should ease into things. That's the story. That's the moral of the story.
But that's right though,
because if you've not done it in a long time or never done it, don't just so. Anyway.
And you're out, if you probably couldn't do much for those 2 weeks, or
it was manageable. I could take ibuprofen and walk carefully, but I was like walking like this. I was like hobbling a little bit. I'm 34. I looked like I was 90. I can't, So, and maybe the moral is don't go for a run, then go for a walk on the beach. I don't know. I don't know.
So what I'm hearing, Lucas, is really don't be afraid to stepwise your way into these things.
I think there's a level of I'm only going to speak from the male perspective. I think with males, because I don't know, maybe it's testosterone or this, like we have a different drive. Not that women don't have their own drive, but I can't speak for them. So from my experience, I do have a personal competitiveness in me with working out. Yes, I look at other people at the gym when they're working out. I'm like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Holy crap, look at how much weight that guy's moving. And then I get a little self-conscious. I'm like, oh gosh, I could probably push more. I think I've learned personally last year to just shut that voice off because, I could probably push more, but I could tear something. And then I can't push anything for months. And then I lose a bunch of muscle. So there is a competitive drive to working out. And that's great. I think that's a good motivator. I think that is the advantage of the gym is there's a little bit of social pressure, even if you're not there with anyone, to kind of work hard. Mm-hmm. But you don't want it to work you so hard that you're ego lifting or you're pushing yourself to a point where you're, And I was at the beach with friends who a lot of them are fitnessy, and I was like, well, I'm gonna be the good one. None of them are doing. They're all on vacation. They're not working out. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna run really hard. I'm gonna time myself and all this, And so you want to temper those when you're coming up, especially with your New Year's goals, especially if you're not used to working out.
Yeah.
Who are you competing against? Yourself, and yourself was doing nothing.
Yep.
So now you're doing something. You're already winning. So
I love it, Lucas. Any words of encouragement as we in this pod? Any words of encouragement for those who are wanting to add exercise into their routines come 2025?
Progress is progress, whether it's small or large. You don't have to. You don't have to be a new human over a winter season.
I love that.
That's unrealistic. Progress is progress. So
I love it. Progress is progress, guys. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with us. Lucas, I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
All right, man. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Don't go away.